I've been wanting to ask you because in the United States there has been in recent times a reduction of the conception of democracy to voting once every 2 years. That encompasses the whole of democracy. And I think one of the points that you make a lot is that that's just a very small part of democracy, but that's not the popular conception. What would you tell people that democracy is, or how? Like, 'cause I think there's a lot of like very earnest attempts from people to be like, well, I want to do more, I want to get involved, but there isn't obvious kind of avenues to do that. For a lot of people, they're just kind of alienated and confused. And so, what would be like a productive way for like someone watching tonight to be a participant in democracy?
Actually, what you're describing is not new. That's the traditional establishment view. The official view, what you learn in school, what you read in the newspapers, everything else. Scholarship is democracy means showing up every couple of years, pushing a button, then going away, and leave it to your betters to take care of things. That's the standard view all over scholarship, including liberal scholarship. The left has never accepted that until very recently. The recent discussions about, the obsession with should you vote, the on and on discussions about the nuances of this and that, the concept of lesser evil voting, which I'd never heard in my whole life until about 3 or 4 years ago, just never arose on the left. It was always recognized that, yes, elections we have 2 candidate-producing machines, business-run candidate-producing machines. Sometimes the ones they produce are so awful that you have to vote against them. Sometimes it doesn't matter, okay? So what's real democracy? Ensuring to the best you can that decisions that are made in the socio-political system, not just the political system, but all of it, are responsive to people's needs and interests. And you do that in many ways. So, for example, let's take Richard Nixon. Okay, he was president, hardly a leftist, but activism on the left did succeed in making him the last liberal president we've had. Not because he wanted it. That's where the pressures were. So that's why we have the EPA, that's why we have OSHA. Quite a number of liberal innovations came from militant labor action in those years, popular pressures, the militancy of 60s activism. All of that set up conditions in which Nixon responded to popular pressure, even by not escalating the war the way he intended. There's pretty good evidence of that. Same thing happened with Reagan. Massive popular demonstrations about nuclear weapons, huge ones, did press the Reagan administration towards a position where they accepted the Gorbachev proposals on a degree of control over nuclear weapons, important ones that Trump incidentally has torn to shreds, like the INF Treaty. So that's politics, okay? You don't put your trust in any leader. That's ridiculous. But you can pressure them sometimes. Trump is actually unique in that he's immune. You can't imagine anything that would move Trump from his very narrow-minded obsession with paying off the very rich and ensuring his own political future. That's rigid. You could do almost anything that would have no effect. In fact, one of the differences, many between Trump and Biden, is that while Trump is solid, rigidly immune to any pressure, Biden is susceptible to pressure. We've seen it, in fact. And if real politics goes on, it can be more.